I say it measured probably about 9 feet long, maybe 6 feet high, a little higher, maybe 6.5 feet. The lighting emanated from the fabric of the craft. What I did that night is I had my notebook with me. I went around and started doing a 360 walk around the area, taking, recording my observations.
He made drawings of what appeared to be symbolic etchings he said were on the skin of the craft.
What's to stop 3 guys from, who knows, maybe they wanted to get out of the Air Force. Maybe they made up a story and to destroy their credibility. It's like shooting your toe to stay out of the draft.
That involves a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people that witnessed it, you know, the colonel, the deputy base commander on the base, the MOD talks about it.
So we all have a sort of a collective image of what an alien is supposed to look like.
But one man who makes his living as a professional skeptic is, well, skeptical.
The parade of astronauts or police officers or politicians like Jimmy Carter, it's irrelevant because they're human and their brains and nervous systems and sensory apparatus are structured just like the average Joe's.
As the publisher of Skeptic magazine, Michael Shermer spends a lot of time with reports of UFOs and space aliens.
The facts are true, the story is well told and well produced, but that's not how science works. In science, we have to have some way of testing to get an answer. It's this or this, and we have to have some way of weighing the evidence.
UFO reports, even the most interesting ones, tend to share similar characteristics. There were no pictures, or the pictures were blurry and shaky, or the pictures and the report disappeared into government archives, never to be seen again. That's what the late astronaut Gordon Cooper said about film of his UFO sighting.
There's no way within the military or within the government of keeping track of something that is classified.
Not every government chooses to deny the existence of UFOs. Since the fall of communism in 1989, information surrounding the subject has become much more accessible in Russia.
If you believe that an enormous number of people could be involved in a cover-up, why couldn't an enormous number of people be involved in fiction?
People have better things to do with their lives. And when they come forward and talk about it, they're putting their neck out and exposing themselves to ridicule. And people do not like to do that.
And it's just very classic myth-making, storytelling behavior by people. And it's just a form of myth. It's kind of like a New Age religion in a way. These are gods coming from on high to rescue us.
And in the reports, they're very often gods who try to rescue us from war, from environmental crisis, gods who try to rescue us from ourselves.
We return now to Brian Rooney's report on efforts to move the study of UFOs from an object of savage humor to a subject for serious scientific examination.
It flew into the frame like this, and it shot a beam of light at the warhead. Now, remember, all this stuff is flying at several thousand miles an hour. So this thing fires a beam of light at the warhead, hits it, fires another beam of light, and then flies out the way it came in. And the warhead tumbles out of outer space.
I think it's very likely extraterrestrials are out in the cosmos somewhere. By virtue of the fact that we have no physical evidence yet of them visiting here, and the fact that the cosmos is so vastly huge and empty, the chances of them finding us are pretty slim.
One of the most dramatic cases occurred in September of 1976, when a Phantom F-4 jet flown by a pilot from the Iranian Royal Air Force attempted to fire a missile at a UFO. In the same instant, the pilot's fire control console and radio went dead. At this point, a smaller craft emerged from the main UFO and circled around the jet.
I had a sighting of my own with 4 other friends of mine. The sighting was fairly spectacular, but what I was what I found particularly frustrating was that I came home and I shared this story with my close family and friends, and they all laughed at me.
Now, you mentioned taking videotape of the sighting you had, but
yes,
that's not in your documentary, is it?
No, no points of reference, and I just, you know, once again, the same old story. You know, here it's at nighttime, and I'm being blinded by my viewfinder because it itself emits light, and I'm trying to shoot an object that's moving around so fast in the sky.
Why doesn't our government ever say this is true?
This is a good one. Okay, can you imagine this? The President of the United States, my fellow Americans, it has come to my attention that structured craft of unknown origin are flying around in our airspace. They fly rings around our fastest jets, and should they turn to be hostile, we have no visible means of defense against them. Thank you and good night.
I'm sure that there are secrets that the government has, information that they have about this area that they choose not to divulge in public for national security reasons. I wish they would.
You're watching News 15 at 10.
Do these lights belong to visitors from outer space?
Shermer says he doesn't doubt the governor and residents of Phoenix actually saw something that night.
Right? It's not, one person misperceived Venus or, swamp gas or something like that. It's obviously something was going on.
But he says the problem comes when people have a kind of leap of faith, a leap of explanation.
In science, it's okay to just say, let's just withhold judgment for now and do more research. We don't have to commit to some big grand theory of aliens visiting us. Let's just say we don't know what it is.
The discovery that we are being visited by extraterrestrials would be one of the greatest in human history. Such a discovery would profoundly alter the perception of ourselves and our place in the universe.
Fox wants the U.S. government to open its files, make public everything ever known, reported, or researched about UFOs.
What's it going to take? What would be absolutely convincing to the public?
I think if one landed on the White House lawn, I still don't think that I think there'd be people out there that still wouldn't believe it.
So, are we alone? Have alien spacecraft come to visit? Some people think they know. For the rest of us, it's still just a question. This is Brian Rooney for Nightline in Los Angeles.
The mystery continues. Our thanks to ABC's Brian Rooney.